Hi everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now recently, the Wheel of Time Twitter account has been dropping all kinds of teasers for the show. Now, we're a little over a month away from the release of the first 3 episodes, and we know we're getting a full trailer sometime within that time period. Now, all these little teasers and snippets that we're getting probably are going to be factored into that trailer in some way, shape, or form, but either way, they're really cool, they're very neat, and I can't wait to break them all down for you. Now, I expect to do a number of these videos over the coming weeks because, let's face it, we've been getting one every couple of days, which is way more Wheel of Time content than we've ever gotten before. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're not quite sure what I do here, I cover Wheel of Time news. So everything and anything to do with the Wheel of Time production currently filming in Prague and the Czech Republic. Now, that includes official stuff from both the Wheel of Time Twitter account, Amazon and Sony, leaks, rumors, set videos, pictures, castings, you name it, we covered here in the channel. So click the subscribe button and the notification bell because I usually put out 1 to 2 videos per week and they're all Wheel of Time on Prime centric. Now, this particular video, we're going to talk about a Logain teaser that was just recently dropped by the Wheel of Time Twitter account, and there are some slight spoilers, so spoiler warning. In this video, we're going to talk about that teaser, so if you haven't read at least the first book of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, that's The Eye of the World, be forewarned, I may ruin minor plot points and character arcs from that novel, explaining certain things about this teaser. Alright, all that being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, so we're going to break down a few different scenes in that Logain teaser. At least there's some really cool things that I want to talk about. But first, before I do, I want to mention Twitter. Now, I know Twitter is not exactly for everyone. However, the Wheel of Time Twitter account is the official Twitter account for the show, and it puts out all of the stuff. So all of these teasers we talk about, all of the real official stuff, so the set videos, castings, things like that, they all come out on Twitter. Yes, Deadline puts some stuff out, Hollywood Reporter, you get some things on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. But generally, over the last 2 years, the Wheel of Time Twitter account has interacted with the fandom almost solely via Twitter. So if you don't have Twitter, and I've said Twitter way too many times already, go make one at the very least and follow this account because you'll get to see this stuff in real time as they tweet it out, which is now happening literally every couple of days. We're getting something really big from them, which is fantastic to see after such a long dry spell of content. Now, when this came out, there is a couple of different scenes in it. So essentially, the entire teaser is down below in the description box. I've left a link to it. It's on my Instagram. It's on the official Wheel of Time Twitter account. It's in a bunch of different places. Now, I'm not going to show it here in its 23 or 24 second glory. However, I will show a couple of scenes that I want to talk about. The first one I want to talk about is this. It does give a little bit of a shot of Logain carrying a ring with a chain. Now, his sigil is 3 golden crowns on a field of blue. Now, to me, this doesn't really scream 3 golden crowns on a field of blue for this ring, so I don't think it's his sigil. But I want you folks to say, what do you think it is in the comments down below? What do you think this ring is? Why is he carrying it in this way? Now, I will remind you a little bit of the backstory of Logain from the books, and that's why I gave the spoiler warning. He was a Gelden noble, and he proclaimed himself as the Dragon Reborn. The king of Gelden stripped him of his lands and his titles, and then he started a war. And when he started that war, he was captured in Logain by some Aes Sedai, and a few of them died during the battle. That's pretty much all that was in the books about him before we seen him in Camelin in the first novel, The Eye of the World, and then he does show up later on in the series as another character that comes into play, sort of like a main character. But we know that Rafe Judkins is expanding upon his role in the books, so what do you think this is? Like, why do you think he's holding this ring during the attack? Now, during this teaser, the initial attack happens, and it's basically him walking towards a bunch of guards. Now, in that scene with the guards, we see Miguel Alvarez. He is an actor that's playing the King of Gelden. At least, that was a leak from his CV quite some time ago, as reported on by WatchSeries.com. So we know that this is probably some of the scenes they filmed in Spain, I want to say last year, and when they filmed those scenes were probably him being stripped of his lands and titles and attacking the Gelden King, the Gelden army, and all of the other, his bodyguards and whatnot, which I think is probably the scene we're seeing here. Now, we do get some really cool cinematographic shots of him walking from underneath and whatnot. It's really very neat. I like it. I probably didn't use that word properly. However, what I want to mention is this. You see the one power swirling around him, and it's black. You'll notice on the outside of all of these screenshots of the teaser, you see little white filaments. In every teaser we've seen so far, anything that the Aes Sedai do, all of the women channelers, it happens to be white. And anything that Logain is doing is black. Now, I'm going to guess, and this is just a guess on my part, but I'm going to guess this is probably due to the taint from the Dark One on the male half of the One Power. So they're going to show everything that he's doing, channeling as being black and the women as being white because it's untainted. Now, when we see this scene and it swirls around him, it swirls around his hands, swirls around his body, he's creating a shield that's knocking aside spears and things like that. I got some super anime vibes. In fact, the only thing I could think of when I watched these particular scenes was Bleach. I don't know if you know the anime or not, but there's a lot of stuff like this where they gather power around themselves, and I love it. I love the way it looks organic, it's flowing, it's ominous and eerie, and I like the way that Logain looks so very scary in this particular clip. And again, if you haven't watched it yet, the link is down below in the description box. You're going to want to go check that out because it is a really neat clip. And it sets him up as being a really good, in my opinion, probably an anti-hero, because in the first season we don't know what he is other than a false dragon, and we know that his role's expanded. I'm going to guess that at least for the first half, the first arc, the first 4 or 5 episodes, we're probably going to see him as built up to be the big bad guy, because we know there's certain battle scenes with him in it. We know that he's captured by the Aes Sedai. We know that he does kill an Aes Sedai, because in the last trailer we've seen him blowing the shield up around him, and Kareen Nagashi, one of the Aes Sedai, one of the sisters holding him, gets thrown in the air. And then later on we see one of her warders, played by Peter Franson, holding up her ring and crying. I'm going to guess that he probably dies during that battle, because we know in the books he does kill Aes Sedai during that battle. So he's probably going to be set up as quite the bad guy, at least for the first bit, until he's actually captured and transported to Tar Valon, which I think we're entirely going to see. Now, the last thing I want to mention about this teaser is this. We get a really good look at Matt Cawthon in this, and he looks sick. So he looks like he's pale, he's got red-rimmed eyes, he looks shifty, he looks uncomfortable, and I am going to guess 100% that this scene comes long after he has the dagger. Now, this is probably him seeing Logain in Tar Valon later on, because we do know that most of the party meets up in Tar Valon. Most of the things that would happen in Caemlyn happen in Tar Valon in the first season, because we're not really getting Caemlyn as far as we know. So I'm going to guess he has the dagger with him. He's tainted. He's basically acting the same way he did in the Caemlyn and the Queen's Blessing, where he was very upset. He didn't want to come out of his room, didn't want to go in town. I think he's seeing Logain here, and I think during this teaser when Logain sees him and kind of looks all excited, it's because he's using his talent. Now, we do know that Logain does have a talent to see Ta'veren. I think he's seeing Matt, and they're going to switch this up. Rather than him seeing Rand, he's going to see Matt, and he's going to be very excited. This will give us another glimpse, because we know that basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep the secret, the identity of the Dragon Reborn, kind of a secret through this. Now, we know by the end of the first book, in the Eye of the World, everyone pretty much knows who the Dragon Reborn is. However, in all the promotional material we've seen so far and everything they've shown us, it's been very questionable. It's almost like they really don't want us to know who it is, and I think that's for the new viewers, people who haven't read the books before, to keep a little bit of mystery, because they did a really not great job of keeping that a secret. It was never really meant to be a secret in the books. I think they're going to change that up for the show. And with showing Matt as Ta'veren in this scene, that's the way of saying that maybe perhaps Matt could be the Dragon Reborn. Either way, I really like the way he looks here, and I think he really embodies that shifty, not really trusting anyone stuff that he's getting from the dagger. Now, I want to know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this teaser. It was very short, 23 seconds. However, I want to emphasize we've got nothing for quite a long time as far as marketing goes, and now the show's a month away, we're getting something every couple of days. We had this Logain teaser, and then we had the tribute to Robert Jordan on his birthday, October 17th, which also happens to be my wedding anniversary, which is really, or my anniversary with my wife, which is really very cool. So I'll never forget either. But we're getting all kinds of stuff. We're getting all kinds of promotional material putting out on Twitter, on Instagram. We're seeing a lot of articles and other stills and stuff from the Wheel of Time. They're really ramping it up. We know we're getting a full trailer soon. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think we're going to get over the next week or so? And we know we're going to get a couple of things. I think, in all honesty, either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, we're probably going to see that full trailer, because we're looking at a month till release. And generally, we get full trailers for most shows around a month to release. So I'm thinking Tuesday the 19th, maybe Wednesday for a Wheel of Time Wednesday. They might wait a day. We'll get the trailer then. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think we'll get this week? Are we going to get some more castings? Are we going to get maybe a couple more character teasers? Are we going to see Gowan? I would really like to see Gowan. I mean, chances are we're probably not going to see him released. They did release the Elaine casting. However, that's all Season 2 stuff. I think they're really going to concentrate on stuff for Season 1. All right. I want to thank you all so very much for sticking with me here to the very end, and here's to many more.